Hi, welcome to our series of grave topics where we dive deep into the funeral industry and answer questions and concerns that you might have about the funeral industry. My name is Brian, and I am the manager at Bateman Funeral Home here in Newport, Oregon on the beautiful Central Oregon coast. Welcome. If this is not a good time for you to watch this video, make sure you put it on your timeline so you can find it again. And if you have any questions or any concerns or anything, please make sure you note those for us so that we might be able to have a specific recording according to your specific question. We're starting a new trio, and we're going to be talking about celebrants and officiants and reverends and all those types of things of who can officiate a funeral service. And we're starting it out today with a celebrant. What is a celebrant? And that's something that people get confused, especially with the word celebrant and celibate. Two different things, just letting you know. A celebrant, in my case, I actually went to a third-party person, a company, who actually certified me how to be a celebrant. And celebrants go through and they tailor-make services specifically for maybe families or individual needs, that type of thing. And they're differentiated between, ordained ministers or pastors or reverend or priests or that type of thing, in the fact that they focus specifically on the individual and that celebration of life. Whereas the other ordained ministers and reverends and those things, and we'll be talking about that in another recording, but they are a little bit more specific to maybe specific religions or denominations or that type of thing with rituals. So what does a celebrant actually do? So my main definition is they will spend about 90% of the service talking about the individual and celebrating their life. And maybe about 10 to 20% of the time talking about any spiritual beliefs that person may have. What can they do? Well, they will help with setting up displays. So, for example, they will help the family go through and they really personalize it to the individual. Maybe the person was in the military, and so they'll be bringing in their uniforms and maybe their ribbons and some accomplishments. Maybe a woman was a wonderful person that did quilts and that type of thing and belonged to a quilting guild and spent every weekend, and she believed that most of her money should go to quilts. They will bring in quilts and that type of thing, and they'll have those displayed around so that everybody can see those quilts. I mean, what would be a service without grandma's quilts? I mean, that's what she's remembered for, type of a thing. Maybe they'll have some photo albums, or they'll make a poster board with pictures on it. They might help with videos, that type of thing. And today's technology, families can make a video about the person's life and take pictures and music and blend those things in. One of the things that I always try to have people do is to have music specific for that individual. So maybe in the background there's going to be some music playing that was their favorite music. Music and words and that type of thing. Pictures bring, they're worth a picture's worth 1,000 words. Music, the same thing. When you hear a song from when you were a teenager, your brain immediately goes there. Mine does. Everybody's does. And so when you hear a specific song, that will remind you and literally help bring that person to be present in that service. That's the best way to do it. So they will help with that type of thing. Maybe you're having military honors. If a person served in the military, they'll make sure that they can help coordinate to have those military honors and put them in the service so that you're honoring that person's service to the country. And that, I'm telling you, when you have military honors at a service, it's very specific and it's powerful. It's so powerful. Sometimes, I remember with my grandfather, we had like white elephant gifts. We had a table with all of his, maybe rocks and pocket knives and all these different things, bolo ties, available for children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to go in and take a memory of their grandfather. And that is powerful, because when you walk up and you see something that maybe grandma or grandpa or your mom or somebody had, and you can touch it and you can pick it up and you can take it home with you, it's like taking a little part of that person home, and it will always be remembered. My grandmother, I don't know how many elephants she had, but everybody in the family ended up with at least one little elephant to be able to take home, and they have that elephant, and they'll always remember Grandma Elsie because of that elephant. So if a family is looking for a person to handle a funeral service who is not religiously affiliated, and they're trained on funeral rituals and funeral services, they'll be looking for a celebrant. So if you have any questions, if you have any other questions about funeral rites and those types of things, make sure you make a note below. We'll try to address that in our next recording. And if you have any other questions, you can also visit our website at batemanpacificview.com, or you can send us an email at info@batemanpacific.com. Have a great day.